hello, everybody. Hello. This is Brother Rumble with the Most True Podcast. I want to thank you for stopping by to check out this video. Listen, I'm going to ask you, if this is your first time watching, please comment down below with your name and where you're watching from. And if you are a regular watcher, you can do the same. Also, if this is your first time, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like this content, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified whenever we go live or whenever we post up new content. Guys, I know you're anxious to get back into the video. I thank you for taking time out to watch this commercial break. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am your host, Jason Ribbert, and this is the Moments of True Podcast. My brothers and sisters, want to thank every last one of y'all for tuning in for another episode of Moments of Truth. Guys, today we're going to be having a discussion. We're going to be having a topic on this faith center situation or controversy. It has really flooded the YouTube space. By God's grace, me and a few other ones were one of the first ones to cover this story when it first came out. But now it has really flooded the Christian YouTube space. But what I want to talk about tonight is I kind of want to go in further detail of how this happened. Not what we think may have caused it, but I want to know like why this happened. And we're not gonna dive into the rabbit hole, and then we're not gonna lay out conspiracies. This is not a him versus Team Fernandez versus Team Tudman. This isn't that. There's a bigger picture here, because I have been reading a lot of the comments from some of the videos that I have done, and apparently there are so many of you all that this exact thing has happened to. So that, to me, it's a thing that goes on in these churches, and I just don't understand how the light switch can be flipped so quickly. And for this conversation, I have brought in a great brother in this YouTube space. One of the best Christian YouTubers, or YouTubers period, in this space. I want to bring up my good friend and brother, Pastor Ray Curry. Hold on one second. Let me get him up here. What's going on, man?
Praise the Lord. Doing well. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, man, back again like you never left, man.
Yes, sir. That means I ain't act up too bad last time. Thank you.
Come on. Man, I know some of y'all may be wondering, where's Pastor Rock Leach? He sends he regrets to inform us that he has some issues going on technically, and that he's not going to be able to join us tonight, but he is praying for us. And we just want to say, Pastor Rock, we love you, man.
Love you, bro.
We miss you, man, and can't wait to have you back on the platform.
Absolutely.
But Pastor Ray, let me ask you, before we put these clips up here, when you first heard about this situation, or let me rephrase it, when did you first hear about Dr. Joel Tudman? Like, was he on your radar before all of this, or did you start learning about him through this controversy?
Well, I'll tell you, it's very interesting. I'm almost ashamed to admit how I first found out about him. I just finished getting my degree in business fundamentals. Lord help my brain. Okay, yeah, I got my degree in business fundamentals.
Yes, sir.
And I was thinking maybe pursue a theological degree. Let's just go for it. I'm a minister, so let's go for that. And
Yes,
I
sir.
looked around at different schools, and I started to think about liberty. And I want to say this is before the Jerry Falwell Jr. stuff, his wife, and the pool boy stuff. And so I was like, that school's up there in literal Lynchburg, and all the history behind that. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna look and see if there's somebody, who's offering something. And I saw what, Jake's Divinity or Jake's Divinity School or something
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yes,
So
sir.
I said, you know what? Why not? Hebrew is Hebrew, Greek is Greek. I
Hmm.
know the word. He's a name people will recognize. I can give people a chance. Everybody got their little hole in the wall school. Why not?
Okay.
And this was years ago, years ago.
Yes, sir.
And in that, I began to see different ones and different names. And I want to say it was during that time that I came across Joel Tudman and
Okay.
saw him and how he spoke and how he would command a stage and he had a presence. And I said, oh yeah, I can definitely see
Yeah.
why he's a protege to Bishop TD Jakes. And that was like the first time I saw him, but
Hmm.
it was also like the last times of me even interacting with the churchianity scene.
I got
After that, I just began to, spend some time developing myself and developing ministry and doing what I have to do. And by the time I got back onto the churchianity scene,
you.
I was so turned off that I didn't want anything to do with that that whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how I came across him.
Okay. Because I heard a few messages from Joel Tubman. Well, briefly, in past. Never really just listened to him fully. And I was kind of, I was at a place in my life where I would be like, man, this guy not real, that guy not real, and da da da. And anyone that was connected to them, I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to nobody. So I was kind of in that space where I was like, man, TD Jakes ain't real. And so anybody that was connected to Jakes, I would be
Oh yeah.
like, nah, I ain't finna listen to them, man. They ain't. And I have to apologize because I'm not saying I'm a Tubman fan or anything like that, but I will say that since this situation has happened, I have really kind of sat down and started listening to messages from both these men.
Mm-hmm.
And Fernandez really he knows the word. He's a good teacher. Um there's some things that I for me are kind of questionable, but he really knows how to enunciate his words, and he's really really good teacher. I come from that background, and I believe you come from that background where the fire, that
Oh yeah.
fire, and
Oh yeah.
they put the hump in the back and they going in.
Oh yeah.
And Fernandez, he's not that kind. He's real. When I would say he's real cerebral with the
Mm-hmm.
word, like a silent cerebral type of
Mm-hmm.
guy, and that works for a lot of people. Everybody don't like screaming and hollering, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
But I started listening to Joe Tutman, and I listened to a few of his messages, about 5 or 6 of them. But he had one that's on his YouTube. I did a reaction video to it, released it earlier today. Um, he was talking about the name of the message was called "Do You Love Me,"
Mm.
and he broke that message down. I'm
Mm.
talking about it caused me, yeah, and this is how I look at whether a preacher is impactful to me. This is just my opinion. To me, is when you can minister something that will cause me to look within,
Mm-hmm.
and not just look within on a surface level, but look deeply within to see, do I line up, do the love that I have line up with the definition of love in the scriptures.
Yes.
And he was talking about the definition of love in the scriptures, and one of the things that he said was, you cannot tell me that you love me if you are not willing to die for what I am willing to die for.
Mm.
And he was saying that from the eyes of Christ. Like, we say we love Christ, but are we willing to die and lay our life down the way that he did?
That's right. That's right.
And that's in relationships, that's in anything that we say that we love. I'm a firm believer that you should be willing If you say you love your wife, if you say you love your husband, if you are not willing to lay down your life for them,
that's right.
then that, to me, that's not love. Man, so it caused me to look at things from a different lens. Now, he has a lot of Jace's mannerisms. He does. The way that he talks at times, if you close your eyes, you think it's Jake's.
Oh yeah.
The way that he move his hands and clap his hands and walk around the stage, as you say, he commands the stage.
Oh yeah.
But you can see a lot of Jake's in that.
Yeah, as Joel Tubman said, he said, "Be like the gate, look like the gate." Yeah.
My prayer is that now that he is, as he said, he's this thing has caused him, this controversy has caused him to really get before God, and he's going to spend this time on his knees. My thing is that as he does that, that he allows God to bring him into his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I believe you're going to have trace of your leader here and there. You know what I'm saying? But the importance of you, of God, of you submitting to God, establishing your own voice.
That's
you know. And so I hope and pray that that happens for him. But I'm gonna switch gears and get on this topic, man of God. So about 5 to 6 months ago, maybe 7, they may correct me in the comments. Pastor Joel Tudman gets he is released from the Potter's house through Bishop Jake. They do this ceremony of him, and TD Jakes announces that Joel Tudman is going to the Faith Center in Sunrise, Florida, to become the pastor. He didn't say, Jakes did not say he was coming to be an associate pastor, assistant pastor, or just to help undergird Bishop Fernandez. He said point blank that he was going down there to be the pastor.
Yes, sir.
So one thing we know about Jakes is, and anybody like him, they're not going to make a statement like that unless they know for sure that this is what's going on.
Exactly.
And from my understanding is that Bishop Fernandez is in a or I don't know if he's still in it now because of everything that has happened, but I know that it was said that he is in a mentorship that is up under Jakes. So I'm pretty sure when Jakes made that statement that this is what the plan was for him to go down there and become the pastor and overseer of the ministry of Faith Center. So they go down there, and I'm going to play this clip, man of God, because what to me, and I want you to let me know what you think about this before I play it too. Because to me, when you say that, when you stamp God's name on something, and you say that God has spoke to you,
period,
and told you, that this is what it is, that this is the man, this is the guy,
this is the one, yes,
this is the one to carry the torch. Because shout out to Pastor Rock Leach again, because in our brother Rock Leach's video, he brought out a very good point. He said that there were a total of 46 ministers and pastors already up under Bishop Fernandez before Joel Tudman even got there. So Joel Tudman said God spoke to him to go get not Joel Tudman, forgive me. Bishop Fernandez said God spoke to him and told him to go get Joel Tudman to overlook the 46 that were already there and go get this man. And this man uproots himself from Texas and comes to Sunrise, Florida, him and his wife, and they're there, I believe, for about 5 to 6 months. And then then here comes the axe. So my thing the question I want to ask you, man, before I put this clip up is, what do you think about this, man? About somebody stamping God's name
Yes, sir.
on an issue, because we do that a lot, man. We stamp God's name on a lot of stuff.
And I don't know what for. That's the
Yeah.
thing that gets me. I don't know what for. It don't make you no more deep. It don't make
Come
your
on.
word no more heavier or better. You have the holy scriptures. I don't know why we have to sit around and talk about God told me this, God told me that, the Lord told me. Is it that you don't want nobody to argue with you? Is it that you don't want rebuttal? So you throw God's name on it, and because the Lord's name on it is the settling of the account. There is no back and forth. You're all not going to argue with me because now I've heard from the Holy Ghost. Is no longer,
Wow.
all right, Pastor, through a multitude of counsel, let a purpose be established.
Yeah.
It's no longer that now. Now it's God told me, so y'all can't say nothing. But then 5-6 months from now, we sitting on camera talking about just trust me, y'all. Just trust me.
That part.
I trusted you 6-7 months ago when you said that God was speaking to you. All right.
Yeah.
And another red flag for me is you've been pastoring somewhere for 30 years and you have not been able to raise up one strong son.
Ooh.
You've been pastoring 30 some years, and I've lived through this and experienced this in my life.
Yes, sir.
I've been in Pastor Tudman's shoes, and I have been under a Bishop Fernandez. I've been on both sides of that. You mean to tell me that you've had so much strife, debate, character flaws, issues in your organization that nobody trusts nobody, and that after 30-something years, you can't call on not one son from your spiritual loins?
Man, you just bro, you just you just said something.
I've been through it.
You just said something. Because my thing is this: how in the world, if you got 20 pastors and 26 ministers up under you, how is not one of them qualified?
Not one.
And you've been saying this, and he said it in one of his podcasts. Now, if you go on YouTube and you look up Henry Fernandez's podcast, every single episode that had Joel Tudman in it, he done took it down, or his staff has taken it down.
That's
but
right.
But thank God for YouTubers, man, because people like Pastor Rock Leach and others, they got these clips before.
Oh, they gonna catch you.
They gonna catch you.
Yeah.
He says in one of his clips on his podcast, I don't have that clip. I need to get it from Pastor Rock, but he said that he's 60 years old. He had been planning to retire at 50, and he wound up waiting 10 more years. So you mean to tell me you knew you wanted to retire at 50 years old, at 10 years ago? So you had nobody in 10 years that you could groom right there up under you.
Something wrong with
this position. Something's not right. Because my question.
Yeah,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, and my thing is, I see it. It's just that's why, like I said, by the time I got back around, I was done with churchianity, because you looked among yours and said, I need some. I feel like I'm built such a ministry that it needs a star quality. Now, and I gotta give this to Jakes. Jakes found somebody who he could really pour into, and Joel, he poured into him. But I'm gonna say this too: as we get back over here to Faith City, we had to get Joel gone somewhere because he was too strong. If he didn't go on somewhere, he would have. Sarah and Tori over there look sick.
You know what? I was about to lead you right into that, because my thing about it is, it's amazing to me. And there's some people that was in the comments when I did my first video, because I brought this out in the first video, and a lot of people in the comments saying, Joel had nothing to do with Bishop Jakes announcing that he was gonna retire. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Joel was there when, if you go back and watch when Bishop Jakes had that episode, they said he had a heart attack. Okay. Now I don't make light about that at all. No. So they said when he was having that heart attack on stage, if you look at the camera, Joel was there. So Joel was ministering. Okay. So you mean to tell me that now he didn't nowhere did Pastor Jakes announce the whole time he was sick, the whole time he was down, he did not announce anything about a retirement.
Mm-hmm.
He did not announce his retirement until Joel had left.
They had to get that boy out of there.
They had to get him out of there. Y'all gotta put your thinking caps on now. This is not no conspiracy stuff. You gotta look at the timeline.
That's what it is.
Pastor Bishop Jakes has his medical episode. Okay. And while he has his medical episode and while he's out, Sarah and Joel and what's Sarah's husband name? I forgot.
Tory.
All the ministering is different ones ministering while he's out. Yep. And while he was out, if you go back and watch those messages from Joel Tudman when Pastor Jakes was down before he got back up to minister, if you go back and watch those messages, and you compare his messages and Sarah's messages, he was blowing Sarah out of the water, man.
Period.
She couldn't stand next to him.
Nope.
And we're not saying this to make it seem like it's that you ought to have picks and chooses. You shouldn't have picks and chooses. But what I'm saying is, Jakes knew that the Potter's house. He always knew that the Potter's house was going to be kept in the family.
Yes, sir.
But he had this young Joshua. He had this young Joshua who, if you really wanted to do things the right way, he should be the pastor of
the Potter's house.
The Potter's house.
Yeah.
You was looking at the pastor of the Potter's house with Joe.
That's what it was.
That's what it's supposed to be. But you want to keep that in the family because the Potter's house is a cash cow.
Yes, sir.
The Potter's house is what launched T.D. Jakes' media empire.
Right.
The Potter's house is what launched his men's conferences and the Women That Are Loose conferences. All the Potter's house fed all of that.
Right.
Until they begin to grow legs on their own, like T.D. Jakes' media empire. The Potter's house kept feeding his media empire until his media empire began to take legs on his own. And then we all know he wound up going into a contract with Diddy. And, that's neither here or there. But anyway, swallowed up. But anyway.
Right.
Go ahead, Ben God.
Yeah. And then after, like I said, it's all power moves. You take Joel away from the Potter's house, the clear away for Sarah and Tory. You get Tudman over here at Faith City, and it allows that to flourish. Mm-hmm. And it's just mainly a move like, okay, well, we know that you're not going to take over the family business at the Potter's house.
No.
So come on over here. You'll have a landing spot. And don't worry about them 46 other people. Don't worry about 46 other people. Some have been with me for the 30-something years.
Yeah.
You have the star quality that I feel my ministry needs because I wasn't able to produce it from my own.
And let's not forget now, the church was in debt.
Yes,
when he came. He said it. He said it out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. Bishop Fernandez said it out of his mouth that the church was in debt.
Yes, sir.
And I know a lot of people in the comments were saying that, the Faith Center was already, a mega church, already this and already that. But you have to understand, man, it's level. If you going, what do you call it, brother? You call it Christian,
churchianity.
Churchianity. I call it Christendom.
Christendom. Okay.
Christendom. But you got to understand something. Whether it's churchianity or Christendom, you got to understand something. It's levels to this.
It's levels to this.
It's levels to that.
Yes, sir.
And just because you may be a mega church in your city or in your region, there's a difference between being a mega church in your city and your region and being a mega church countrywide or worldwide.
Exactly.
Tudman had worldwide appeal.
Yes, he did.
And you know what he did, man? Still does. He made Faith Center marketable. Attaching his name, because he's attached to Jakes, attaching his name to Faith Center made the church automatically marketable.
Yes,
How
sir.
do you how do you how do you within 5 months grow the church by 1,100 people?
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
That ain't no joke, man. Them people wasn't come. I ain't listen. I'm not trying to throw Bishop Fernandez under the bus at all, but let's call a spade a spade.
Yes, sir.
Them people wasn't coming to hear Bishop Fernandez.
Period.
Them 1,100 people wasn't coming to hear Bishop Fernandez.
No, they were not.
They were coming to hear Joe Tudman.
Yes.
Man of God, I'm finna play this clip in it, but I want to say the video that I did today, the reaction video, right? I had somebody that was at the church when he did that message. They commented under the video.
Wow.
He said the church was packed that day.
Wow.
All up into the upper levels, all packed out, and chairs all out in the hallway.
Wow.
For this man. And from what it was told to me by I saw a video by Denise the Influencer. Shout out to Denise the Influencer. We working on getting her on the show. She was a member there. And she was saying that she was a member as of recently. She's no longer there because she wound up relocating. But she was there as of recently. So I'm thinking that she was there while Tudman was there. And from what she was saying, that Tudman was preaching maybe like once a month. But he was the reason why the Faith Center was getting ready to go into 2 services on Sunday.
Wow.
Because it was so many people coming that they didn't have enough room for everybody.
Oh, wow. That's something.
So I'm gonna throw this clip up here, man of God. And hold on one second. Let me get this. Let me get this up here.
You are like my third son.
Hold on one second.
No problem.
I gotta get this right. Let me get this right. Here we go. So this is the clip. I got this off of Prophet Manasseh's page, Manasseh Jordan. And I don't really fool with Manasseh Jordan like that, but he had the clip. And this is when they were still going through the process of the handover. And they're having a conversation. Some of y'all have seen this clip already. They're having a conversation of how it came to be that Joel Tudman was chosen. We're gonna play this clip, bro, and then me and you gonna have a discussion about this.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank God. You are like my third son, and I mean that from my heart. I remember I was driving down the highway after I wasn't sure if you were the guy. I wasn't sure if God was going to select you. And in my car, I heard God as clear as day. And he said, he's the man. And I said to the executive board, I said, this is what God told me. If we just step back and let God have his way, absolutely, everything will work out fine. Believe me, we did it right. The people got to love you. I truly believe in your gifts. I see the talent. You study the word of God.
There are not many men like this that will turn around and say, take this. I've not seen.
And I told you I don't want it back.
He told me, I do not want it back. I do not want it. He told me.
Bro, what do you what do you
Don't want it back, huh?
Right there? That's what he said.
Oh, man.
There's so much you can unpack from that.
It's a lot to unpack. I believe Pastor Rock, I wish he was here. He unpacked this and looked at a lot of things between that video and the video, the firing video, that when he gave a photo. We ain't there yet, but let me just say, from this video, God told me, I knew you were the man. You're like my son. You cannot spiritually kidnap a son. That's TD Jake's son. That's TD Jake's son. Okay. You didn't make Tudman. You didn't make him. You are not putting him on the map. Don't try. Oh, you're like my third son. sometimes we're overinflated, and I wasn't sure if you were the one. I wasn't sure if you were the man. You have a ministry, you have a certain budget, you have a certain amount of seats that's not getting filled. And the truth is, you had 46 to choose from. None of them was good enough, and you knew none of them could pull enough to get your ministry where you want it to be and say, oh, I seeded that. So the only one that could do it that you had access to would be Joel Tudman. That's the only one that would do it. And it's God said, and you talk with the board, and you were able to get them in. All right. So that's the thing. There is, and some people say when a board make a decision, there is nothing they can do. But there is a certain amount of pull you had to say, God told me this, and make everybody accept it. And
it sound like to me, bro. It sound like to me. Yeah, maybe I misinterpreted it wrong. And if I did, you can correct me. Those of you in the comments can correct me. But it sounds like to me like he more or less just went to the board and said, "This is the guy. God spoke to me. This is the guy. Y'all rock with it."
To be honest, I'm trying to get a man the benefit of the doubt, but that's what it seemed like.
He even said, "We got it right." He said, "We got it. Picking you, we got it right."
Yeah.
So, God Almighty.
I mean, and that ain't, that's not how the body of Christ work. No way. I just do my research and look in the Bible and see how things went out. Acts chapter 15. Paul is the apostle unto the Gentiles. Sure enough, heard from God. But when there was a great dispute going up about things, he didn't say, you know what, God spoke to me. I know what Jesus said when I was in Arabia. Everybody shut up. I'm going to just do what God told me to do. No, he sat down with the presbytery. They came to a consensus in Acts chapter 15. And then James stood up over the meeting. Somebody else other than you stood up over the meeting and said, okay, here's a dispute between the Jewish brothers, between Paul, and they were all Jewish, but what I'm saying is the ones trying to bring them under the law. But at the end of the day, they came to an agreement that the Holy Spirit bore witness with. It wasn't just Paul coming in and strong arming the meeting. No, they came to an agreement that the Holy Spirit bore witness with, and it seemed good. And the church went and they preached it throughout because the presbytery, the board of elders, had come to a consensus. Brothers and sisters, this situation seems like, once again, God told me, and then you can walk in the room and everybody just kind of bow to it. That's what this feels like. So now I don't feel like he's helpless in, I would have kept him. But, the board, I don't think he's helpless, but I do think the board is a factor.
I believe the board is a factor too. I just can't wrap my mind around the number 46. You got 46 others, 46. And no one was disgruntled. Everybody just agreed with it. I mean, no even way. Them that was with you from day one.
No way.
You ain't no way. Everybody just agreed with it. And I really think that Dr. Tudman came in there not knowing the full scope of what was going on. I don't think he really knew what he was up against when he came in there, because, and like I said, not trying to throw Bishop Fernandez under the bus, but at the end of the day, all this has to be laid at his feet.
Yeah, it ultimately, it's him.
Ultimately, it's laid at your feet, Bishop.
Yes, sir.
And then, so you go from "you are my third son," and I mean that from my heart. You go from saying that to saying this right here.
As I stated, I sent the letter to all of our members yesterday.
And shout out to Joy 105.
But as I stated, I sent the letter to all of our members yesterday, and I hope you would have a chance to read it. The letter was sent to advise you that Pastor Joel Tudman is no longer the senior pastor of the Faith Center. Now, please, I ask that you continue to pray for him and his family. That's what Christians do. Although the situation is unfortunate, we're obligated to pray for one another. What you're not going to get from Bishop Henry Fernandez is the back and forth, blaming. That's not my character. And for those of you who are streaming, I know the comments already there. You have no idea.
Wow.
I'm trying to understand that, bro. How do you go from "you are my third son"? I mean that from my heart. God spoke to me. We got it right.
Right.
To "you have no idea."
You have no idea. That's the thing. The righteous are bold as a lion, and the wicked run when no one pursues. Here's the thing. If God told me something, I'm going to stand up and say, the Lord spoke to me, and I know who God told me to choose. But I am submitted to a board. He talked about he submitted his life to the board, but I'm submitted to a board. And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell the board. I mean, my thing is, you've been the man for 30-something years, trust your leadership. I would look over them and I would tell them, I'll say, I'm going to remind you the words of Jesus. Jesus said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, I would have taken you like a hen takes her chicks under her arms, but you wouldn't have it. Jesus said, so now your house is left to desolation. So since y'all can't listen to the word of the Lord, your house is left to desolation. I hope the board do well. I would stand up strong. I would stand up strong if God said something to me. But when you get up here, you have no idea. Well, that's your fault that we have no idea. We have no idea because you got up and put God's name all over everything. You slapped the name of the Lord all over this stuff, and then you get up talking about something. He ain't the pastor here no more. Just trust me, guys. You have no idea.
Yeah, in 30 some odd years, I have led this church for 30 some odd years. Trust my leadership. Because my thing is, how did the energy just switch like that? Like an overnight switch. You paraded this man all over your podcast, everywhere, and you this ain't what we heard. This ain't hearsay. This is video. This is you.
It's on video.
It's on video. No one put words to your mouth. No one put a gun up to his head and made him choose Joel Tudman. No, you said, Bishop, that God spoke to you. Now, if he was to go up there and just say, guys, I got it wrong. I thought God spoke to me. Apparently he did it. Okay, we can kind of work with that. But you flat-footed, 10 toes down, said God spoke to you in your car and said he is the one. And so if God say he is the one, it don't matter what the board say, it don't matter what nobody say.
Nobody.
This man is the leader of the church. But if you look at his demeanor while he's reading this letter, something is off.
Something is off.
Something is off.
Yes, sir.
It's just off. And I'm saying this out of my own personal experience because I went through this issue with like what Joel Tudman's going through. I went through this issue.
Yes, sir.
The look on Bishop's face is a look of jealousy. I may be wrong. And y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Some of y'all, some are faith life. Some of y'all may be in the comments. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back on here and apologize.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know I will. But that's just what it looks like to me. It looks like a little bit of jealousy because, man, you can say what you want to say. This man built this ministry for 30 some odd years to get it to where it gets to. And in 5 months, an outsider can come in and bring in 1,100 people in 5 months.
That's not normal.
What may take you what may take you 4 years to build, this man did it in 5 months.
5 months.
And not only that, he told Joe point blank, I don't want it back.
Yes, he did.
So to me, it's got to be one of 3 things. Either Pastor Joe did something crazy that you just can't get with,
right?
Or Bishop Fernandez saw something and Bishop Fernandez got his jealousy and he wanted it back. You know, the church the church done grew, more money coming in, and now he wants it back. Or the board rejected it and made him go out there and do that.
Yeah, and either way, you still have to say, I didn't hear from God.
Yeah.
Either 1, 2, or 3, what you just said.
Yep.
You got to come back here and say, I did not hear from God. If you were jealous of the man, and things flourished and everything went up, and then you coming back and saying, trust my leadership and all this kind of stuff, then you got to say, well, I wasn't hearing from God at first. I was in my feelings. You might have been, to be honest, I think it's all Christian entertainment. Let me go on down to the root of where I am with this. I'm not team Joel. I'm not team Fernandez. For me, these are power players, business decisions, and deals. That's what this is for me. Because even on Joel's side, you should have enough discernment in your life. You're not a kid. You're not 20 and 25 years old. You're a grown, established man, and you've been in ministry, and you've been under Jakes. And y'all know how churches and church people are. This man been over church for 30-some odd years with 46 other people who were ahead of you. And you see how they got you away from Sarah. You see how they got you away from Sarah, man. And you gonna come over here. You think ain't no Sarahs over here? You think ain't no Tories over here? You think ain't no elders over here that been serving for years and years and years? That you are a spit in their face?
Yeah.
The bottom line is, when it comes to Joel, for me, man, even in that, you shouldn't be devastated. You shouldn't be devastated. You should have been here as a caution, with cautious steps. I'm here to help. I would love to be a blessing. I love to be a part. And then when it happens, you should have had the mindset. Cause I'm 39, and I have the mindset of, man, people are people everywhere I go.
Yep. Life will life
everywhere I go. I love it. I mean, like, I've had these experiences where I'm holding hands and shouting and dancing with the leading lady of the church because we acquired some land together. I mean, I help ministry acquire properties and this and the other. But then things happen and you find out my family is my family.
That's right.
I love you, brother. You're a good brother. You come in, you help, you grew us, you've expanded us. But my child is my child. My grandchild is my grandchild. Yep. So what I'm saying is, it shouldn't even be devastation. But the thing is, sometimes we feel like we are going to have these major business opportunities. Yeah. We feel like I don't have to build it from the ground up. It's already ready-made. All I got to do is do my star power thing. It already has some structures. So if they just let me do this, then the church can expand and I can just keep going. And we don't want the responsibility of ground up. Not that he can't do it. Believe me, he can do it. He got enough following to do it, but sometimes we don't want the responsibility of doing it, and it kind of messes up our business plans. There was a certain quality of life we wanted. There's a certain, quality of entourage and position, power, and instruction that we wanted to do quickly, but now it's going to take the long route. So I don't feel for him it's much because it's all business to me. But at the same time, it's all business
at the end of the day.
At the same time, that first one, that the jealousy thing, Fernandez will have to admit that God wasn't speaking to him then. Then if it's Joel did something out of hand, God did not speak to you because the man did something that was out of order. It was always in his spirit. It was down in his heart. And you said that God spoke to you, and this man was not fit and did not have the character to lead and to be a part of this organization. So you line there too. Or if it's number 3, that the board at the overroad and this and the other, brother. If you talking about God is speaking to you, then you have to ask the Lord. We're gonna bring him in. How? In what manner? What's gonna happen with the board? What's gonna happen down the line? You don't just say, "Oh, God told me to bring somebody here," and then 6 months later we got to kick the man out. somewhere we're not hearing from the Lord, because God don't author no confusion.
No confusion. And he said something else in the video, man of God. He said, I wasn't sure that God was going to choose you. Then he turns around and said, but God spoke to me in my car. So that means you went out and got him not knowing if God was going to choose him.
Lord have mercy.
He said it. Wait a minute. You know what? For those of you that's like Brother Jason, that ain't true. That ain't true. All right, let's replay it.
You are like my third son, and I mean that from my heart. I remember I was driving down the highway after I wasn't sure if you were the guy. I wasn't sure if you,
Right.
God was going to select you.
What's that right there?
Right. That's what he said.
There? He said, I wasn't sure that God was going to select you.
Yep.
So were there other candidates? There other candidates? And if there was other candidates, well, then why ain't nobody say nothing about that? He said, I was riding down in my car and I wasn't sure about you. I wasn't sure that God was going to select you. So wait a minute. If you wasn't sure about him, was it that you wasn't sure?
Right.
And now you started weighing the pros and the cons, and all of a sudden, now God done spoke.
Right.
And hey, go back to what you said, my brother. Power moves, power plays.
That's what this is.
It is not about church. It is the business of church.
It's the business of church.
It's the business of church. Because this is just my speculation right here that I'm about to say. I think that the way that he wanted it to go was Tudman take over the church. Yeah, he would still be there as a minister / probably overseer. He probably gave himself a title as an overseer or something like that, but he wouldn't be doing no preaching. He want to do what Jakes is doing.
There you go.
He want to do, because Jakes is not preaching. He's still there, this and there, but guess what he's doing? Potter's House is still giving him that check.
I'm still in charge.
Potter's House is still giving Bishop the check.
Yeah.
And I think that Fernandez wants to sit down, don't labor no more, and just get his check in sunny Florida.
And Tudman did not come there to be a hey boy. You told that man he was going to be a pastor. He was looking to be a pastor. And if you think that he was coming to do the labor and watch you chill out, and you might not set things up for him all the way right. No, Tudman was not going to do that. He was not going to do that. I ain't know if he had some more clips. I'm trying not to go ahead of you.
No, you good. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But I think Pastor Rock, I might have to say this again a little bit later, but I think Pastor Rock said probably the most profound lines of commentary when it comes to this whole situation. He said, Bishop Fernandez, well, actually, this is after both of them. This was after everybody spoke. And I don't have a video even on my channel about this yet, because I wanna hear well, actually, it ain't about hearing. I heard them both. They both said nothing. They both came on camera and said nothing. No, neither one of people sitting there, yeah, that's right, that's good. And I'm like, neither one of them talked to you. That was a whole bunch of churchianity, jargon, of circular nonsense of nothing that sound deep to people whose ears don't really work. Now, but Pastor Rock said these lines after these men spoke, and he said basically they want us to pray, but no, don't probe. They want us to unite, but they don't want to help us understand. They want us to trust, but they don't want to tell us the truth. This is just the truth of the matter. And people might be thinking, well, what is the hoopla and what's the fuss? And if they ain't saying nothing, they ain't do nothing. We don't even know everything yet, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is we need pastors, one, stop putting stuff on God that ain't God talking. Stop.
Come on.
Two,
Come on.
the church is not run by one man. It should be run by a Presbyterian. That's why we having all these fallouts all over the nation. And I'm doing a story every week. I got another Presbyterian pastor in Charlotte. This man done, and a Presbyterian supposed to be a group of elders, and this man is doing crazy stuff. But anyway, the bottom line is it should be a Presbyterian. It should be a group of elders who sit down. Now, there might be a what we might call a lead pastor, but he should not be able to be the sole voice of the final decision.
That's right.
Three, we need to stop using churches as businesses. We need to stop all these games and let me move this piece over here and keep you away from here because you too strong for this situation. So let me see if I can find you your own bag. I'm gonna see if I can find you your own thing so that you won't be tempted to be competition with me and this, that, and the other. Let me put him in a whole nother state because we got to get you out of Texas because if you plant a church in Dallas where I'm at, they leave the Potter's house and they're going over there with Bishop Tudman because they want to heal T.D. Jake's mantle. We want somebody who's carrying his mantle. So we got to get you out the state.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man, God. I think one, I don't think if he go back to the Potter's house, I'll be very, very shocked.
I would be shocked.
Two, if he was to go back to Dallas or Fort Worth and open up a church, so a lot of people from the Potter's house, I believe, would leave to join him. But a lot of them women ain't going nowhere because Sarah is a modern day woman preacher for the modern day woman. That's just
you know what? That's a point.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, baby.
Insane.
Boots on the ground.
Insane.
You seen that clip just like everybody else. They got the woman involved. You got the woman with the red. Everybody got red fans.
It was bad.
Doing the fanning with boots on the ground. That's modern day women pastor for modern day women.
Hey, yeah. I can't argue with that, brother. Can't argue with that.
But I don't think me personally, I think Pastor Joe gonna probably wind up starting his own work in South Florida. But I want to throw up this last clip, man of God. Now, this clip came from a service here recently. This is Bishop Fernandez again. And I want everybody to put your listening ears on because if you really listen to what he about to say here, the man really throwing shots. This just me talking. This is me thinking. I think he's throwing shade. Check this out, man of God.
Not only through pastors and mentors and church gatherings, but you ought to have a personal relationship with God. And we're in a society today where we're making celebrities out of preachers. And we have our favorites. And if the truth be told, sometimes our purpose of worship is not to him, but it's to stage. All right. But you got to know God for yourself. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm just giving you what the Lord has given me to give you. You need to know God for yourself. Don't you ever know him through Henry Fernandez. You better know him because I'm telling you, we all will fail, but Jesus never fails. That's why David said, I would look to the hills from whence cometh my help. Your help doesn't come from your neighbor. Your help doesn't come from your friend. Your help doesn't come from your job. Your help comes from the Lord. I'm telling you, when you're tied to God, I don't care where the devil puts you. He can put you in the most uncomfortable situation. Your God shall supply every need in your life. And you need to believe that. You to recognize that while God has established spiritual leaders and fellowship within his church, We must not neglect our own pursuit of him. Are you pursuing him? Are you pursuing God? Who are you chasing after? Then you got to protect your spiritual connection with the Holy Spirit. Listen to me. Take ownership over your spiritual walk. Faith Center, and those of you who are listening to me online, take ownership over your faith journey.
Yeah, that sounds like some things brewing under there, brother.
My thing is this. When he said that we making celebrities out of preachers. But my thing about it is you built up Joe Tudman coming like a celebrity coming.
You went and got one.
You went and got one.
What?
You went.
What? We need to stop this celebrity preacher stuff. I introduce to you this celebrity preacher. What are you talking about?
And then look, if you go on his podcasts, all he bring on there is celebrity preachers.
That's all you bring on, and then we need to cut it out. Stop.
Come on, man, stop it, bro. Cut it.
Stop it.
What they used to say on Fresh Prince? Come on now, cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out, man. Hey, this whole story reminds me of Alexander the Great. King Philip and his son Alexander, they said he was the son of Zeus. He wasn't really Philip's son. But anyway, so King Philip had a wild horse that he's been trying to tame. And this horse, he couldn't control its bit in its mouth. He couldn't get it to act right. But it was a magnificent horse. He wanted that thing tamed. He wanted to train that horse. And one day, Alexander, he was like 13. Alexander having to come out, and he hopped on the horse, and it's like the horse took to him. The horse just act right with him. He can control it, and the horse just seemed to like Alexander. And when Philip saw Alexander, taming the horse that he couldn't tame, he smiled at him. But everybody noticed that he still had a piece of him that was not happy Alexander could accomplish something he couldn't do. And when I saw Bishop Fernandez get up there, it's like, wow, Joel must have tamed the horse he couldn't tame. It's just this look on him. And, as this thing plays out, we're going to be able to say some things concisely that we're going to allow to play out. But the truth is, even in this, there are plenty lessons to be learned. I would tell every spiritual father who trusts my leadership, and I've been leading for 30-something years, learn how to raise up a son. Learn how to raise up a son. This is a lesson for pastors all over the nation.
Do it in-house.
If you can't raise up your own son, shame on you.
Yeah, guy, you said something right there. You said something. And you know what I noticed, though? He get up, Bishop Fernandez, he just said, when he said, we raising up celebrity preachers, he said, I'm just telling you what God told me to tell you. Telling you what God told me to give you. But one thing he has not done in all of this is say, guys, I got it wrong. God told me, or I thought God told me. Apparently he didn't. I must have got it wrong. That we ain't heard that yet.
Nope.
So because we know God's not a liar.
Yep.
And we know God don't flip flop.
He lied somewhere.
So somebody somewhere lying.
He lied. It's even the sermon. You got to say, I told y'all God told me to say this in my sermon, and I told y'all God told me to get Joel Tudman. You lied somewhere. You got to call yourself a liar, Bishop. and anybody who following you. Somewhere you got to call yourself a liar. You can't say God don't want no celebrity preachers all living up these celebrities. I would like to introduce everybody to this celebrity preacher who's going to take over my ministry. You a lie. You a lie, and you got to repent.
And another thing too, I'm gonna say this before we get up out of here. He just made it harder for whoever the real successor gonna be, because especially if it's somebody that's up under him now. If he say Elder Brown gonna be the new pastor of Faith Center, Elder Brown gonna be looking at you cockeyed because, well, cross-eyed, he gonna be looking at you at the corner of the eye.
Somewhere.
The first thing gonna come in his mind was, you told us that Dr. Tudman was the one that God spoke to you. So, and you took that back from him. So if I do something that you don't like, all of a sudden is God no longer speaking to you? So really, to be honest with you, he done put himself between the rock and the hard place.
Yes, he has. Because
now you're gonna have to hold on. I know you want to retire, but now you probably gonna have to hold on to the church for another 10 years before somebody else even think about coming. Because now, even if you get somebody to agree to be the new pastor, you're going to have people in the congregation that are going to look at you sideways.
Yes, sir.
Because the first thing that's going to come to their mind is, you told us that God spoke to you that Joe Tudman was the pastor.
And Brother Jason, let me tell you something. If you was to contact me and tell me God was speaking to me, whatever that voice has been talking to you again, talking about come over. Now you talking about God told you to bring me, that contract will be this thick.
Yes, sir.
My contract will be this thick. I'm writing out everything. I'm writing out times. I'm writing out positions. I'm writing out authorities. I'm writing out salaries. I'm writing out everything. And I'm writing a clause in there. You get rid of me before 5 years, this is how much I'm leaving with. Why? Because it's business anyway.
It's a business. It's a business. So it ain't personal. It's just business.
It's just business.
So we might well handle it like a business transaction. Bro, thank you so much, man of God, for your commentary on this, man. I really, really enjoyed this, bro. We're gonna have to do this again and I know we're gonna do it again because somewhere some stupid preacher gonna mess up. And we'll be right back here again.
Yes, sir. We'll be here. I'm with you, brother.
Man, I love you, brother.
I love you too. And sometimes we got to get you on the unction. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We're gonna make it happen, man. Y'all put your hands together for my brother, my good brother, Pastor Ray. Guys, this is what I say, man. You got to try the spirit by the spirit, man. You can't take man's word for it. You just can't, man. Like, what a man is today, he may not be that tomorrow. Straight up and down like 6 o'clock. And you got to stop stamping God's name on every single thing so that you can avoid situations like this situation right here. So where do we go from here, guys? Well, I'll tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to go in prayer, and I'm going to pray for Bishop Fernandez. I'm going to continue to pray for Bishop Fernandez. I'm going to continue to pray for Dr. Joe Tudman and their families and the church family at Faith Center. But I'm going to pray for all of us. The Bible says that we have to let our yea be yea and our nay be nay, point blank. So, y'all, that's all my time, man, before we go. Listen, but what I do want to do is, there is a question in the pinned comment down below. And in the pinned comment, the question is, do you think that there is more to this story? All I want is for you to simply comment your name and comment yes or no. I want to know what you think. Let's have a conversation in the comments, guys. Also, for those of you that would like to be a blessing to the channel, you can do so one of 3 ways, either through Cash App, $ Rembert Media Group, or you can do PayPal, Rembert Media Group, or you can do Zelle, which is Rembert Media Group at gmail.com. So whatever God lays on your heart to give, I don't put amounts on nothing. If God leads you to give 25 cents, thank you. If God leads you to give 50 cents, thank you. If God leads you to give $1, so on and so forth, I thank you. Anything that you give will be a tremendous blessing to the channel, because it takes a lot of work to put this production together, guys. So if God lays on your heart to be a blessing, please do so. So guys, I'll let y'all know that we're going to be doing some more uploads here over the course of the weekend. We're going to be talking about the shooting with the at the Catholic school in Minneapolis. My heart goes out to the families that lost their children, the 2 families that lost their children. My heart goes out to you, and so does my prayers. Guys, let's continue to keep this nation in prayer, please. Let's keep this nation in prayer, because whether you believe it or not, this world needs Jesus now more than ever. That's all my time, guys. Until next time, this is Brother. Remember, you are truly blessed. In Jesus' name.
Jesus, rock me, Jesus, rock me, Jesus, hold me, 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 Lord, hold me, Lord, hold me, yes, hold me, Lord, hold me, Lord, help me, yes, Jesus, help me, Jesus, I need you to help me, I need you to help me.